Hello, beautiful people. Thank you for joining me today. Okay, so today we are going to do something a little different. We are going to make a mini cupcake bouquet. I have never done a mini before. I saw somebody else post it on their page, and I was like, that's kind of cute. And it gives people another option so you don't have to spend a whole lot of money buying cupcakes. You can have a smaller, cheaper option. So what we are going to do is we're going to do cactus succulent style cupcakes today. Okay, so these are the colors that we'll be working with. As you can see, this one does not have frosting in it yet because I'm probably going to take it out of this one or that one. And we are just going to get started and go ahead and see what we can create. All right, so we're going to start with this 121 piping tip. It's going to make our peony. So we're going to start with a peony first. And these are on jumbo size cupcakes. Okay, so whenever you do these cupcake bouquets, you want to do them on jumbo size cupcakes because that is the size that fits into the cups. They are 9-inch cups that they go into, and you'll see the cup as soon as we get ready to do that part. All right, so I just put a little dollop of frosting in the center. The big part of the piping tip is on the bottom, the wider part, and the skinnier part is on the top. We're going to start by putting that wider part right down here onto the cupcake, and we're just going to go over in like a half moon shape. All right, so it's going to look something like that. Every time we go over, we're going to turn our cupcake. So now let's turn slightly. We're going to start in the middle of that one that we just finished. We're going to go over and down and turn. And we're going to just keep continuing to do it that way. So we always start in the center. Every time we do one, we turn the cupcake. Now this particular 121 piping tip is my favorite. I think I have one other one that's similar to this one, but if you see, it makes like these, I don't know what you call it. It's like these ruffles in the frosting, which I love because I feel like it makes it look more realistic. All of the 121 piping tips do not do this. So I can't even tell you where I got this one from because if I knew, I would buy more. I just bought about 13 of them. They do this sometimes, but not as much as this one, like not as in detailed. Also, you always want to put your frosting into the saran wrap bags, right? But once you color it, and then you always want to put them in the refrigerator before you start to decorate because you want your frosting cold. What that's going to do is that's going to help it look more detailed like this. If I were to just color my frosting and then go ahead and start to decorate my cupcake, it's not going to look anything like this. I'm not going to have that detail. It has to be cold. And then once you take it out, you have to get right to work, okay? Because the longer it sits, the softer it's going to get, and you're going to have to start all over again. So as you can see, I am covering the majority of this cupcake. All right, and that looks good. We're gonna leave it like that. That looks so good, huh? I love the peonies. That is like my absolute favorite design to do. I love peonies in real life also. I've never received a real peony. So if anybody wants to get me one, you can. But because I would love to just see it in person, but I love how that looks. It just looks so creative. That's usually the one that everybody likes. That is the go-to cupcake. Okay, so now we're going to do our open flower, and we are going to do that with our 124 piping tip. This is our regular 124 piping tip, okay? So, excuse me, no, it's not a 124. It is not a 124. It's a 126. I always get that confused. The 126 to me is a little bit wider and it's more square. And I like the way this one comes out because it kind of comes out with those ruffles as well, as you'll see in 1 second. I'm going to grab this one because this is a little higher. And when the cupcake is a little bit higher on top, it just helps it to come out like just more beautiful to me. Okay, so we're once again going to do that dollop of frosting in the center, but we did this one kind of high, okay? Because we want it to be a real open flower. All right, same thing. Wider part is on the bottom, skinnier part is on the top. We are going to put that wider part next to it on this left side here. We're going to squeeze and we are going to go over half of that dollop of frosting that we just put there. We're going to turn. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to go on the side of this part now, okay? Now we are leaning our tip towards that dollop of frosting. The more we go around, we'll start to lean that back. But you don't want to lean backwards first because it's going to create an open flower. And if you try to open it before you get all your petals, your frosting is just going to fall down and it's not going to look good at all, okay? All right, so we're going to keep going here and just keep going around, same as we did with the first one. Also, if you need to stop and tighten your frosting, go ahead and do that, which I'll be doing in just a second, because if you start squeezing too hard and it's hurting when you're squeezing, you need to push that frosting down, turn it to tighten it more, okay? You should never be struggling to push out your frosting. If you're struggling, it's not tight. Your bag is not tight. Okay, so for this one, we're no longer leaning in. We're gonna lean back out because we want our flower to open up more now, okay? So we are kind of leaning backwards now. Also remember, when you're doing this, you need to make sure that that frosting is touching the cupcake. It has to touch the cupcake in order for it to stick. If you don't touch the cupcake, it's not going to stick. And I'm telling you guys that because 9 times out of 10 in my classes, nobody touches the cupcake. And then they say, my frosting's not sticking. I wonder why. All right, so here we go. This is our open flower. Beautiful, right? And that's so cute. Okay, so now let's go ahead and set that down. And then now we are going to do 3 or 4 different designs on this one cupcake. So what we're going to do is we're going to use that same tip that we just used. We are going to make a small peony using the 126 tip, okay? So if you don't have a 121, you can use a 126 to make a peony, but it's going to look a little different, and I will show you how now. So we're just going to do one on the side, a very small one on the side of the cupcake, all right? So we're going to do it the same way we did the first, this last design that we just did. We're kind of going to do it the same way, but we're leaning in. So a lot of times when I do these small flowers on a jumbo size cupcake, I do like to do them separately on a nail, a flower nail, because it's just easier. If I were to do a couple on here, it'd be too hard because they would bump each other. But for this particular design, we're just going to add some cactuses and some leaves. So it's okay. It's not, if it touches, it's fine because we want it to touch on this one. Okay, so there we go. We have that flower, open flower slash peony right there. It's more of an open flower, so let's just call it what it is, right? Okay, so then we are going to go in and add some, I would call it scales, because when I do like a under the sea or mermaid design, I use this particular tip to add scales, and that's what it looks like. I'm not sure what it would be called as far as a succulent, but if you guys know, leave it in the comments below. All right, so this is a 104. I was trying to figure out how to say that. I don't want to say 104. A 104 piping tip, okay? So this one we're going to use to make our scales. All right, so, and you guys, if I'm taking my time, it's because I am looking at a picture of, okay, so this is how we're going to do it. We are going to start on this end and work our way up. So we're going to start with one of these. So again, wider part on the bottom, smaller on top. We're going to do this type of motion. We're going to put one in here. Then we're going to go to the side of it and we're going to go right, raise it up to where it's like right in the middle of that one, okay? And then we're going to go off to the side. 1, 2, 3. This one I'm gonna go out 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so there we are with those scales. That looks great. Now we are going to add do our leaf. Well, we'll do our cactuses. Let's see, because we need to do our leaf tip, but we don't have enough frosting. Let's try to get some down in there. We're gonna take this, our 366 leaf tip, and I'm just gonna squeeze the remainder of this frosting that I had used for the 121 down in there so we could do a couple of leaves. Okay, we're just gonna put the rest of it in there. We're just squeezing that down, and then we'll add some more later with the other one, but we need to add some leaves really quick. And then let's also take the frosting from the scales. We're gonna take that beige frosting and we're gonna add it in here, so that way we could have enough frosting in here to be able to hold properly. And then we're just going to double bag it, okay? Because you guys know I like to double bag my frosting so I don't have to worry about my frosting bursting. Okay, so let's turn that, and we are going to add this on one side of the cupcake. So this is the way it should be. Let me lay it this way. It should be like an open mouth going to your left, okay? And then, but you need it straight up and down, like the Pac-Man mouth. That's what people usually call it for some strange reason. Okay, so here we are just gonna start by adding some leaves. 1, 2, 3, 4. I like to count up and give my leaves some ridges. This part is going to be hard because I'm going to hit the side of this. So we're just gonna angle it a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we'll do one more. All right, then we're gonna do some in the center because we want to make it stand up a little bit. So we're gonna go in between these that we just did and angle our hand up. Okay. And then one more right here. All right, so that I think looks pretty good. So now we are going to use our cactus tip, which is our 32. And I did a little ombre effect on this, so I added some red in the middle of this green frosting, and you guys will see how that looks in a minute. So all this extra space that we have on this cupcake is going to be covered with cactus, and then we'll go back in and just put a couple of leaves here and there wherever we see fit, okay? So let's squeeze this out. Your cactus tip is like your easiest tip to use, okay? Everybody can use this particular tip. It is so easy. So you just want to squeeze, let go, squeeze, let go. And as you could see, some of that red is coming out and showing up. So you just want to just squeeze, put them wherever you can, wherever there is cake showing. All right. And then we're going to turn this, we're going to put this under here. And this is also going to help so that this red flower here doesn't start to slip if it gets hot or anything. Turn some more, we'll put some on this side. Be careful not to mess up your design that you already did. I'm going to try to get that up under there. There we go, we got it a little bit. Okay, so there we are. I think I want to do some right up in here, so I'm just going to put, because I don't want you to see the separation between that flower. And it's supposed to be like it's coming up out the ground anyway, right? All right, so there we go. Now we are going to take that leaf tip again, if I can find it. Okay, here it is. And then I'm just gonna add, let's see. I think I'm gonna add a leaf in here. And now I'm just playing around. So this is the fun part, right? You get to just kind of play around and do what you want and add it wherever you feel it's necessary, or where it would look good, or even hide spots that you feel look ugly. I think that's good enough. I'm gonna leave it like that. I think that looks really good. I just want to add one more cactus to this under here because I can see the cake and I can't see cake anywhere else. So I don't want just one part. It looks like I didn't finish it. All right, so there we go. There is that cactus. Do you guys like that? Mostly cactus with like a little bit of flair in there. We kind of made that up as we went. The other one that I did a long time ago, it was on standard size cupcakes. So it's a lot easier to do them when the cupcakes are smaller, okay? Because you don't have to cover so much ground with the frosting. All right, so here is our cupcake bouquet. This is our mini bouquet. As you can see, there are 3 cups in the center. This is regular tissue paper, so I didn't use my fancy tissue paper with the gold around it because it was way too big, okay? That's the only reason why I didn't use it. It was way too big. So now we have to figure out how to arrange it in here. I'm trying to see which one I want to put where. I think I want to put this peony. I'm like, do I want to do the 2 green here and a red there, or a green, red, or do the other one? Okay, let's do this way, I think. Okay, I think. If I did this wrong, if y'all think it looked better the other way, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to figure this out. Okay, I'm trying to kind of holding this a little bit because I don't want this to fall. It's hitting the side of my cupcakes. Okay, I don't want it to fall because then it'll mess up all the cupcakes. And let me tell y'all, trying to put the tissue paper onto these 3 cups, I did it a couple of times, okay? It was not easy at all because I'm used to doing the tissue paper going in between the creases, and there's only 3 creases and I needed it to look better, right? So anyways, there we go. This is the mini bouquet. I hope you guys like this. I'm thinking I might sell this for like, I don't know, either $25 or $30. You guys put in the comments down low what price you think would be good for something like this. I'm not sure if I will offer it every day because I don't want people placing an order for 3 cupcakes and then I have to make a whole batch of cake for 3 cupcakes. So I might just offer it on Friday or Saturdays. I don't know. This is just something I saw. I wanted to try. I hope you guys like it. Give me your feedback in the comments like I said before. Thank you guys for tuning in. I guess I can also put the little things in there, but we'll see. I kind of like how that looks right now. But thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope to see you guys again soon. Make sure you subscribe and like. See you later. Have a great rest of your day.